Back again. Heard this one was a bit more different. It's on the Greenbelt, it's a bit more rural. Is there any challenges that you had with that?
Yes, any project in the Greenbelt has always come with a challenge, okay, because the planning policies here are very, very different. You're only allowed to extend the property 30% more than what it was originally built.
Right.
Yeah. So, but there are ways around to approach this sort of a project. So on this project, as you see, it was quite a small 3-bedroom property. Okay, and the client wanted to extend quite a large at the back and wanted to make sure these bedrooms are quite big, wanted a detached garage and quite a lot of things. So first what we needed to do on this project is to apply for something called a permitted development. On that, we explore each and everything what we can do under the permitted development in a property. Okay, we put that application in and we get that approved. But that establishes the volume which we can actually extend the property to. So as you can see here, so the square meters of the whole property was 413 on this one. And within the permitted development, we can extend the property up to 920 square meter. That's quite a lot of extension we can do within something called the PD. Let me come back. The original property which was 413 square meter. What we can achieve under the PD was 1016 cubic square meter.
Right.
Yeah. So we put this application in, we got this approval because it is under the PD. Then we applied back to the application what we actually wanted as a proposal, which was slightly smaller than what we can do under the PD. So by doing this, we demonstrating to the council saying without planning permission, we can do something like this, which is going to look big and ugly. Okay. But what we're looking to do, which is something like this, aesthetically is going to look nice and everything will tick the box. So why don't you give the permission for that? And then they give us this. The whole planning permission process from on here is up to 9 months because you need to apply for the PD application, you get that approval, then you apply for this application, then you sign something called Section 106 to the council. Right. That only drawback in this one is they take your PD rights away. So anything you want to do to the property in the future, you have to apply for a planning application. But we have maxed out in this property anyway what we can do. So client should not be able to, should not be looking into anything else in the future anyway.
Right, so quite a lot of...
Yeah, it was quite technical that how you achieve these sort of things.
So how did they find you? How did you get in touch?
Again, online, they just found us. Okay, they said, come and have a look. Went, had a look, shows them example of project, what we've done in past. And they said, yeah, they quite like what we do. They gave us the project and we go from there, yeah.
And was it something where you saw obviously the location and where it is and thought, this is going to be fun, this is going to...
Yes, I knew from the day one it's going to be quite challenging.
Yeah.
Okay, because client requirement was quite a lot. Okay, to fulfill all the requirements in a green belt and all those things. I was like, wow, how are we going to do it? But I think in the end, we did it.
Yeah, so let's have a little look at what happened.
So again, as you saw, it was quite a brick building. So the design was that we're going to be rendering the whole thing, which you can see. And again, one of the major things is when you're entering into the property, you should be able to see all the way through, which again, you were able to see on this one. Ground floor, we had a living room on this side here, work from home, much bigger office here. And because you work from home, so that's all here. WC, utility room, open plan, kitchen, dining, living space. This extension was about 6 meters from the original house. It's back here. And on the first floor, what we've done is we extended these 2 rooms, which was literally here. But bedroom number 1 has got an ensuite, bedroom number 2 doesn't, 3 doesn't, and it's got a family room. And the main feature in this property is actually this master bedroom. On this one, as you enter it through, that's the master bedroom. You got a big balcony on the back here. And this is the journey which I love, is going through the balcony, into the bedroom, into the walk-in wardrobe, into the ensuite. So that journey is very, very beautiful.
So we've doubled up on the vision from front to back, haven't we?
Yes, it's front to back vision, but this is upstairs. So on a master bedroom, what we like to do when the client, it does have this sort of a space. Look, everybody wants to have like a walk-in wardrobe and things, but that journey going through from the balcony to the master bedroom to the walk-in wardrobe to the ensuite is quite nice.
And obviously, like, people will be sat there thinking, what, the ensuite and the balcony are somehow connected vision wise, but but like you can see in like the photos and videos, it's still a lot of privacy maintained. It's not like someone could just like look through the balcony and see right down. It's quite cleverly and it's actually done.
Again, as a planning policy, one thing was that when you're in the balcony, you should not be able to see your neighbors. Okay, so we put these louvers here. Okay, they are, as you can see on the photos as well. So you should not be able to look into the garden here.
Yes, so essentially it's completely. Yeah. And then what about on the opposite side? Is it the same sort of like?
It's a similar thing you have in here as well.
Nice. So going into the mindset of the person who has the house, presumably family working from home.
Yes.
Like it's important for them to have quite a healthy space, quite like a nice.
Yeah. Again, it's kind of brief from the day one that he runs his business from home. Okay. And so he wanted a space for him to work, but at the same time he wanted to look in the front of the house as well. So that's the reason we designed the office to be coming in the front. Then they have a separate living room, okay, where they can entertain the guest. And at the back, this is where the whole family, open front family space is. Yeah. And after that, they got nice decking and done outside as well and things, the barbecue area and so and so. And the house just walks into the wood then.
Nice. Now putting a balcony on like the satin, it's not just a balcony because some people have the little walkout balcony things. This one's a huge.
This is a huge one, yeah.
Nice big roof on it and everything, and it's very well designed. When you see it from the aerial view, you can see also the complexity of the roof.
Yeah.
Like, is that obviously to just deal with all these new
designs?
Because
this project was adapting something was existing there, so existing roof style was already there, so we needed to adapt. And when we're extending, again, the height should not be going up more than what the existing height is. That's the reason you ended up with having this flatter bit on the top here.
Yeah, look, it is really interesting the way it's been done. As well, you've got the bit on the front. Was that extended as well? That little porch area.
Yes, it already had a small extension there, but what we ended up doing, extending a little bit more further on. Okay, and having that, so the front bit is this here, which is extended only on the ground floor, but the top where the staircases remain the same.
And then one other thing was the landing area as well, because that's got quite a lot of natural light. Was that? I think I remember you saying something about it being blocked up in the past, wasn't it? And that was there a window put in?
Yeah, I think there was an existing window there. I think what we've done, we enlarged the window just a little bit to get more natural light coming in. Yes.
Yeah. No. What issues came up with this one? Like during it, was there any issues that you weren't expecting, or anything that came up during building as well?
I think the planning was quite challenging. Okay, because we needed to convince them that the volume what we're extending was actually literally more than double. Yeah, which was the council was not very keen. But the moment we actually put the PD application in, gone through that route, it was quite easily justified that why are we doing this and what we can do under the PD. So yeah.
Was there any worry that it wasn't going to fit in with the location?
No,
because it's obviously a rendered house compared to you'd expect to go down the road that it's on and see it be brick or something, but it's white rendered, quite striking, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's gone through in the first go, so yeah, they did not have any question about it. What we're doing with the render and things. So
yeah, and in terms of how it fits in with the landscape around it. Like you can obviously see it's quite agricultural sort of area. Is that something that there was no issue with? It just quite easily went through as well?
No, I think in Greenbelt nothing is easy. Okay, it can take a long time, which in this case it did, and we've done several other projects as well. So Greenbelt is always trickier, but there are ways around it. What we can do.
Yeah. I'm right in thinking you also did the garage.
Yes, there's a detached garage next to it as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's a double garage, and you can park in the front. And I think they're looking to put some solar panels and things as well, because they want the house to be a bit more eco-friendly.
Yeah, and the garage wasn't there beforehand, was it? So it's complete.
It was a complete new.
How does that work? Can you just sort of say, look, I've got land here, can I just put a new building essentially on there and go?
Yes, I think where the plot was sitting in here, and how the plot sat here, there was quite a big line, and there was a big space in the front on the side here, so it was quite easy enough to justify that why we're putting double garage here.
Yeah, because otherwise it just
it looks quite nice with the house as well, so it's not that something.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be quite just a big gap, wasn't it? Really. Yeah. So, and in terms of the construction side of it, how long did this take? Because this looks a lot bigger than some of the other projects.
It took a little bit longer than the client possibly expected it to take. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, this took about a year, or maybe just over that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I take it that the house is pretty much like a wreck. You know, obviously
Yeah,
it, like,
it is, yeah.
only comes together in the
If
finals.
If you see the existing houses, literally, the back of the house was completely gone and things. So yeah, it was initially a start from scratch sort of a job.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did they find it relatively easy with the building, or was there any issues that?
Yeah,
came up?
I think they find a good builder to do this work. Okay,
Right.
and yeah, I think he's done a good job.
No sort of cowboys going on like with the building.
On this sort of project, no.
You probably couldn't risk it in terms of how it works like that. In terms of like working from home, like people who are working from home, do you find that there's been quite a lot of that recently, where people are obviously in their space all the time? They need it to be functional.
Yeah, since COVID, it has gone quite more. Before that, people used to work from home, but they just used to work from the dining table because there was no thoughts of designing something to work from home. So when we looking at a project and we ask this question to the client saying, do you work from home and things? Because if they do, I always recommend them to design something which actually suits that as well. Because sitting in the dining table chair for 8 hours a day is not healthy.
And what sort of like value do you reckon it's added to the property?
Having a work from home space.
Well, no, just that this property in particular, how much like value this whole extension and this whole renovation like?
Look, this project is actually sitting in the Greenbelt, and it's one of its kind on that. There's only about 2 or 3 houses on that street. There's nothing to compare. But my client is going to be living in there for a good amount of time. So he's going to get looking to, as a property investor, that how much value is increasing. Whenever it sells, he's going to be getting the return on investment anyway.
Yeah, because I bet there's a lot of people who come to you asking, I want to increase the value of property, so can we sell it? Because they might not be thinking of staying in it. But like, obviously, you get a lot of value once you actually paid to it. You do have, it's not just a loss, you then have a better house, you can live in it. But do you find that there's quite a lot of that where people are wanting to just build it up so they can sell it, or that kind of
if you're a property developer, we work with quite a number of property developers, and they have that sort of a vision. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But on a domestic scale, most of the projects are when people are actually living in there.
They're wanting to stay there, like, and they're thinking first of a long time.
If you're looking to invest on this sort of a design or something, you should be looking to stay in the house for 15 to 20 years.
Yeah. Is there anything, like, obviously, like, I don't think there's anything you'd probably change in it because it's quite a bit of a, as you said, it's one of a kind, but is there anything actually they could actually do anything additionally to it? It's pretty well it's at its limit, I guess.
Only thing that possibly is to, if they would have explored to go into the loft a bit more as well. Okay, because the loft is now, the property size has gone bigger. There's quite a bigger loft space. So they could have possibly looked to put another bedroom on the top.
Oh, right. Is that something that they didn't explore, or is it just something?
I don't think that requirement. Yeah,
it just wasn't on the. It wasn't something they were thinking of.
Yeah, it's a young family, 2 kids.
Yeah,
I think so. 4 or 5 bedroom was enough for them.
No, it's interesting thought about it. Is there anything else that on this one that you thought was just like that was fun? I mean, it must have been a fun project, even though it might have been
I think the fun part was a balcony designing that.
Yeah,
I remember when we were looking to draw this and things and explaining to the client and how's that going to look. Initially, we just wanted a small balcony, and then we said, no, can we have that to be covered, and kind of a vision. So we did lot of sketch drawings for the client and explained them that's how it's going to look. And we were able to convince the client saying, once it's done, it's going to look right.
Where does the vision start with that? Because you've obviously got to think, right, I'm not going to get the chance to do this many of these balconies just because it's quite a massive thing to do. Where does that vision start? Because you've got to be thinking like, this is one of those things that comes out. I don't
remember where that actually come from, but I know because this project was in a Greenbelt, and the surrounding there was no neighbors. There are neighbors, but there was no overlooking into the back because it was all open into the woods. So I knew there's a great opportunity to explore something like that.
Right.
And in one of the meetings when we had with the client, he was open to having a balcony. So that's all started from there. When we're having a balcony, there is no overlooking at the back. So why don't you look to do something bigger?
Right.
Yeah, that's how it started.
Now they've got the garage. Now this is more of a question that I've got about it, but they've got the garage. Could they not have just extended the house that way to the size of the garage? Or essentially not have had a garage and had like another living space? I mean, technically almost like a smaller property.
The volume which they have got in the garage, if they wanted, yes, they could have possibly looked to extend a single story on the side, but not have the garage. But again, this was not the client requirement. They were quite happy with the space that we're creating on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think it is a right space.
Yeah, it is.
For the size of the family they have, it's a right space.
And it's a lot of land, just full stop on the property. You can see from the content, there's a lot of land involved. But like, obviously, people might not realise they can actually just go and make a whole new structure, basically. Like, you know, it's a massive job, really, isn't it? Yeah. And when it comes down to doing the solar panels, is that something where they're going to have to get permission again for the solar panels, or is that quite an easy fix?
This is quite an easy fix. It's a retrofit, so they should be able to do it.
Right. No, well, that's pretty much, unless there's anything else you can think of with the property, but it sounds like that's quite a lot involved.
This is one of the most fun job we have done, and I'm quite pleased with the result.
You wouldn't change anything, like, no, cool. That's great.
Thank you.